Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read When the Almond Tree Blossoms by David Eichmann. This was actually written in '93 and it highlights the scripture, "When men are afraid of heights and dangers in the streets, when the almond tree blossoms and the grasshopper drags itself along, his desires no longer stirred. Then man goes to his eternal home, and mourners go about the streets." If that's not stark and drastic and extreme, I don't know what is. And it's very interesting that it does talk of something that could happen, even though the book was projected to have occurred in '98. This never came to pass, but you have the constitutionalists who are continually supporting the freedom of capitalism, and then you've got another movement called the People's Movement who are socialists, and of course the socialism has actually evolved into communism. Now, don't flame me. I personally don't think socialism is bad per se, but left unchecked, it leads to communism. So yeah, I don't understand why so many people are preaching the benefits of socialism. So come November of 2020, I'm keeping all that in mind. It's going to be an interesting November, nevertheless, but still, maybe I'm hoping to God this doesn't come to fruition. But Ayn Rand was right, and Atlas Shrugged, and The Fountainhead, and she was a prophetess. But Eichmann, I don't know. It's hard to say, but this could possibly have some maybe it would have some possible chance of occurring. I don't know. It's difficult to say because we're already divided as it is, and there may be a civil war. Who knows? But it's a very intriguing book. The idea is very fascinating in and of itself, just to see how these different factions operate and how China is incorporated with the People's Movement. And you think, oh, of course you would be, but you've got Iran, and they don't mention Iraq, but they mention Iran, they mention China, and it makes you think. It really does. It makes you think, and it gets the wheels turning in your head. And it's an interesting book that ends on a cliffhanger, and then you wonder, what, why, no, why? And of course, I was reading that myself, and yes, it was a good ending, but you didn't really get to see what was going to happen next, and it left some loose ends untied, and it makes you wonder if Mr. Eichmann ever wrote a sequel to it, which I highly doubt that he did, but maybe he's no longer with us. I don't know. That just it feels like this was a book that was written by a man who was older, but still has that kind of eerie possibility, probability, context as such that as a reader you think, maybe this has a ability of actually happening. Well, I don't know for certain, but no one knows when the end will come. We are living in the end times, shock, but no one really knows when quote-unquote Armageddon will be coming, and a lot of people are scared and they're prepping, and it's not bad to prep. It's bad to just get yourself all boxed into a corner and worrying about what you can't control, because it'll happen if it's supposed to happen prophetically. And personally, I do think that we will see it. I mean, I may not see it, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to trouble myself over it. If it happens, it happens, and I'll be able to survive it like I've survived everything else. But I'm going to keep my head up, held up high, and be an optimist despite everything else and drive people crazy. But nonetheless, it's a really good, fantastic book. It's a nice look into the past and what one writer felt was going to occur. Even though it's fictional, there are a lot of really good highlights to take away from it. Just the division between people in America, and it shows a map and how this map is laid out, and you think, oh,